Bryce Canyon National Park is famous for its red rock hoodoo formations, but it's also home to endangered wildlife, wildflowers, and dark night skies. The hoodoos of Bryce Canyon National Park were originally deposited in a warm, shallow lake system. These soft rocks were eroded back through freeze and thaw cycles, taking them from narrow fins to arches or windows, and eventually fully separated out into hoodoos and spires. There are several accessible viewpoints throughout the park, including 2 accessible trails, accessible ranger programs, in addition to accessible facilities. Accessible parking is available throughout the park, but these spaces fill quickly on crowded summer days. If you plan to drive into the park, expect delays at the entrance station. Park at the shuttle station just outside the park, and you can take the bus in. Have your Federal Access Pass and photo ID ready. The Federal Access Pass is available for free to U.S. citizens with permanent disabilities. It provides free access to over 2,000 recreation sites. Once in the park, stop at the Visitor Center for trip planning information and to pick up an accessibility guide. Here you can also find maps, brochures, and find out about current conditions in the park. The natural and cultural history of Bryce Canyon is told here through artifacts, exhibits, and the park film. Prepare for a day in the park by filling your water bottles, grabbing anything you forgot at our Natural History Association's bookstore, and also using indoor accessible restrooms. Sunset Point is a full-service viewpoint featuring accessible restrooms with flushing toilets, water bottle fill stations, and accessible parking options. Short paved trails lead to the overlook. This is the main amphitheater of Bryce Canyon, a classic view of the park. Paved trails continue for another half-mile along the rim, and you can also take gravel trails to get a little closer if you prefer. Head to Bryce Point for incredible sunrise and sunset views. This high viewpoint is accessible via 150 feet of paved trail with a slight decline toward the viewpoint. Paria View has fewer visitors and big views. This is a good option to avoid the crowds and experience some solitude in nature. A paved and slightly sloping trail leads from the parking lot's first view down to the final overlook. There are several other paved viewpoints with accessible parking throughout Bryce Canyon National Park. Visitor services are limited at these overlooks, and not all are accessible via the shuttle. These include Fairyland Point, Inspiration Point, Swamp Canyon, Farview Point, Natural Bridge, Agua Canyon, Ponderosa Canyon, and Rainbow and Yovimpa Points. The shared use path is a paved trail that winds its way from outside the park to the Visitor Center, Lodge, Sunset Point, and as far as Inspiration Point. Manual wheelchairs may require assistance on some sections. The 2-hour horseback ride below the rim is a great way to see the rock formations if you have a strong sense of balance and some upper leg control. Seeing the park by horseback or driving through on Scenic Byway 12 are the only accessible options for getting an up-close look at the hoodoos from below. Clear desert skies and remote location make nights in Bryce Canyon some of the darkest in the country. Attend a ranger-led astronomy program or explore the park on your own after dark to see thousands of stars, other planets, and our home galaxy, the Milky Way. Wheelchair-accessible astronomy binoculars are available at ranger programs. The historic Bryce Canyon Lodge was constructed in a rustic National Park Service style and features a gift store, 2 options for accessible dining, accessible lodging, and a general store. Sites 223 and 224 of Loop A and Sunset Campground are reserved for visitors with mobility impairments. These sites offer pull-through access, picnic tables with extensions, and stand-up fire grills. These sites are located across from a fully accessible restroom. Much of Bryce Canyon is located at 7,000 to 9,000 feet in elevation. This high up, the air is thinner than you may be used to, with less available oxygen. You may fatigue more easily, feel lightheaded, or even experience headaches. Stay hydrated. Humidity is low at higher altitudes. A well-hydrated body is better able to regulate body temperature and is more resistant to heat exhaustion. The thinner atmosphere also increases your exposure to UV radiation and risk of sunburn. At Bryce Canyon, the forces of weathering and erosion never rest, not even for a day. This dynamic and mesmerizing place is like no other, and it's a part of your public lands, just waiting to be explored. For more information, come see us at the Visitor Center or contact us online or by phone.